Insane, you make me crazy, insane, that's how I feel, insane, you make me crazy, insane, that's how I feel,
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Dysfunction Junction. I'm your host Kim, and this is episode 25. I know I say this every time. Oh my God, I can't believe this is episode 25. But I can't believe there was even an episode 1. So yes, I am very, very proud of myself. I hope everyone had a good week. My week was, just like every other week, full of chaos and crying and yelling and screaming, and that's just from me. But yeah, I have had a very interesting week. I am going to talk about something that has been bothering me for a while now, and I've mentioned it on the show before. So I'm just going to give you, just a really quick update of what's been going on this week. So there is a position at my job that I've really have been interested in, and I've got the experience, I've got the knowledge, I've got the training, I've got the know-how, I've got everything. But the one thing I don't have is a degree, and they want somebody who has a degree. Now, it's so stupid. I think I should be grandfathered in that you would have somebody come in. I mean, they could be straight out of college and just, have their associate's degree, but they don't have the experience or the knowledge or the training that I do. But because they have a degree, you're going to give them the job. And I just don't think that's right. And, well, at first I didn't think it's right. Let me explain. So I had this conversation with my boss was it yesterday? And he was telling me that if I want to move further in the company, that I would need to have a degree. He agreed with me. Yes, you have the smarts, you have the capability, you have the know-how and the knowledge, but this company wants you to have a degree. And yes, if somebody came in, a new person who's never worked in this field before, did not have your knowledge, did not have your experience, did not have any of the qualities that you have, if we put you both together, the fact that they have a degree is going to trump you. Now, as much as I hate to admit it, he was right. And I need to do something about that. So, this kind of all stems back to when I was a kid. I really wish that I had people in my life when I was younger who really promoted my education, who really made sure that I did my homework, who made sure that I, was studying. I just didn't have that when I was a kid. Now, I could have said, look, there were a lot of kids in my family, and, my parents did the best they could. But I don't know if I can say that. I have 5 children, and I push education big time. I've said to them, if you don't want to go to college, that's totally fine. I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to force you to go to school. But I have even said to them, just be aware that you probably would get a better job if you had an education. And it's not that I don't want, a higher education. It's just that at this time, I didn't feel like I would have the support of my family in order to do that. But before I move to that part, let me go back a little bit again. Like I said, I didn't feel like I had the support of my parents encouraging me to do well in school. So because of that, I barely graduated high school. And now looking back, I truly believe it's because I had ADHD. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm on the spectrum somewhere. I look at my daughter and I see myself as a young woman, very busy, very scatterbrained, very big mouth, very silly. But back then when I was a kid and they didn't have ADHD or Asperger's or any of that stuff, then you're just being lazy, But even then, I don't really remember. More when I was in elementary school and maybe a little bit into junior high, do I remember my parents asking me, do you have any homework? Do you have homework? Once I got to high school, they never asked me. My mom was a firm believer that when you're in high school, you're on your own, which I think is ridiculous. They're still your child and they still need your help and they still need to be reminded to take a shower, brush your teeth, wash your clothes, but that just didn't happen. My mom didn't even get up with me in the morning to make me breakfast in the morning. So in my senior year, I ended up having to take a morning class and an early morning class and a late afternoon class in order to get enough credits to graduate. Nobody spoke to my counselors. Nobody went to a parent-teacher conference meeting, ever. So it's no surprise that college just wasn't my thing. I struggled with school. I didn't do well. I really didn't. It's just the way, I was just too, my thing is pausing again. I'm going to be really upset. It's just the way my brain worked. It was just very scattered and very daydreamy and just not paying attention. So now fast forward, and I have my own children. I go to every parent-teacher conference meeting. I go, I'm very much in contact with their teachers, whether by phone or by email. I can't say in high school I've been, I go to every parent-teacher conference, but that is because in the high school, I can go online and look at my child's grades and I can see what their homework is and I can see what's doing again. It's going to really drive me nuts. I can see what their homework is. I can see if they've turned their assignment in. I can email their teacher, boom, right there and say, hey, my kid's having trouble. What can I do to help them? What can we do to help them? But luckily my boys were very good in school. They didn't need a whole lot of help. They didn't struggle too badly. But when they have, I've, very comfortable with contacting the school. So now here I am as an adult, and if I want to move forward in my job, which I do, I'm going to need to go back to school, which is scary. And it's not so much the homework and stuff that I worry about, which I do worry about because it's like, I've got a lot on my plate. I'm not a young kid anymore. I do have a full-time job and I do have kids and they have things that they need to do. And I also have a husband who doesn't deal with stress well, and he knows this, and we've discussed this. And I have come to the decision that I'm going to go back to school. I need to go and get my associate's degree. So my husband and I had a long discussion the other day, and he said that he is willing to go through this with me. So I reminded him that means even though you're saying this now, you cannot go back when we're arguing or in a fight and saying, throw this whole school thing in my face. He says he won't, but I know my husband. He will. And then he'll apologize and we'll move on and we'll do it another couple of months and we'll move on. So with that being said, I am still going to continue to do this podcast. I'm going to continue to try to do it every week. But if that doesn't work out for me, then I will push myself to every 2 weeks. And if that still is too much, I'll have to push even further. But as of right now, I am going to continue to do it every week. If I can get my kids on a good schedule, this shouldn't be a problem. Now, I've talked about that before as well, that my 2 little boys do not do well when they are going to bed. And that is our fault. They both had issues when they were little, and we got in the habit of co-sleeping, and now it's really hard to get them out of it. But we really need to stick to our guns and get them in their beds. But before we do that, there's some work that needs to be done to their room first. So we're going to be working on that and getting these boys on a good schedule. And if we can do that, then I can get this school thing down and I can get this podcast down. I mean, hey, what a better place or better outlet to vent my frustrations about school, along with life and kids and work and all that good jazz. So that is what I am doing. Wish me luck. I am going to go get my associate's degree in business management because I do want to move forward in my job. But until that time, why don't you guys donate $1? You know, if this podcast really took off for me, I probably wouldn't go to college. I'd probably just, do yada yada and just be perfectly content and just sitting there all day. But that's not happening. So if you guys would like to show me a little bit of love, please visit my Patreon account. That is, I can't remember what it is now. Dysfunction Junction or Dysfunct Mom at patreon.com. I'll have to look it up. I'll have it at the end of the show. But please, yes, this show is free for you, but it is not free for me. So if you wouldn't mind donating $1, I would really appreciate it because I'm afraid of school. I mean, I'm excited, but I'm afraid at the same time. I mean, I'm 43 years old and I'm just, I guess I have a lot of qualities like my kids where I don't want to fail. I'm not afraid to fail. I just don't want to fail. I want to do well. In my head, no, I should say in my heart, I know that I can do this. I'm smart. I'm smart. I guess being witty and funny and clever has nothing to do with school, unless I'm going to charm the pants off my teachers. But I can do this. I know I can do this. So I don't know. Maybe this is one of the doors that my, pastor was talking about, that the doors are going to start opening. We'll see. Because I was really starting to think that maybe this door was closing. I did have kind of a scary moment this week. Actually, 2 weeks ago, I had my yearly mammogram. I have to have a mammogram every year. I have a lot of breast cancer that runs in my family. My mom had breast cancer in both breasts. My grandmother had breast cancer, which was her mother. My great-grandmother and my great-great-grandmother. So all the women in my family for the last couple of generations, well, the matriarchs of the family, have had breast cancer. So I have been having yearly mammograms for, 10 years now. And my mom did have the BRCA test. She was, BRCA negative. So this isn't apparently it's not hereditary. They think that her breast cancer was brought on by the hormones that she took, the Premarin for, because she had a hysterectomy when she was a very, very young woman. I believe like 28 years old. That's a story for another time. But so I've been having mammograms every year, and this year, they wanted me. I got a call and said that they wanted me to come back. And the stupid thing is doing it again. You know what? I don't know if it's my computer or if it's the audacity, but I really just want to punch it in the face. Man, it makes me so mad. Anyway, so the radiologist who looked at it was a new radiologist, and he thought he saw something. But here's the thing. My breasts are very dense. And for those of you who don't know what that means, and I didn't know what this means, I had to ask. That just means they're very fibrous. They have a lot of fibrous tissue in your breast. And the example that the the technologist said was that imagine trying to see the sun on a very, very cloudy day. So you have all this fibrous tissue in your breast, so it makes it very hard to be able to see any sort of, mass or tumor or, whatever in your breast. So they wanted me to come back. So I did. And of course, they don't have you come back like they didn't have me come back the very next day. So I'm thinking, okay, so it can't be anything, that scary if they're not having me come back, that day or the next day or whatever. Coffee break, whatever. Hold on. So so they're telling me I got to have another mammogram. They want me to have an ultrasound at the same time. I go in the following week, which was, what day did this happen? Wednesday. I went in. I just went in. And I had an ultrasound done. And of course, I work in this hospital. So the gentleman who's doing the ultrasound on my breast, I see him every day. I pass him on my walk every day at lunchtime. Hey, how are you? I've met his wife before, and it's just very awkward. And I'm laying on this table, and I take my Johnny off, and I'm trying to cover up my nips. And Pastor Eric, cover your ears if you're listening. So I try to cover up, and he's like, "Oh no, I've got to have it all. I've got to see everything." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And what should be, gosh darn it, it's doing it again. I hate this stupid thing. What should be going through my head is, what if this comes back positive? What if, they really do see something? What will I do next? What will happen? That's what I should be thinking. But no, I'm laying on the bed and I'm thinking, I didn't shave my armpits. I don't have deodorant on. And I'm wondering if I plucked out the few little hairs that are hanging out around the front. So that's me, people. Priorities. Putting the important things first. Long story short, everything was fine. I thought it would be. It wasn't feeling anything. For some reason, I wasn't feeling nervous. And I can't tell you. I don't know if that is the power of Jesus Christ making me feel calm, or the fact that I am just too clueless to even worry about it. I don't know. But I have to tell you that this Audacity thing is really freaking me out. And if I record this whole thing and then it doesn't work, I am going to be angry. That happened to me today at work. I was really mad. I had to do the office meeting notes. And by the way, if anybody from work is listening, I am not taking notes at the next meeting. I don't get paid enough money for that. So you bitches are going to have to start taking notes because I'm done. Anyway, I have to type up the notes. And I did the whole thing, and then I hit the wrong button. I deleted the whole thing. It was very sad. It was very, very sad. Anyway, that's what it's doing it again. I'm going to have to really, really look at this stupid thing. It's freezing on me. Anyway, now, guess what?
It's the news you didn't know you needed.
That's right. And do I have some news for you? Listen up, ladies and gentlemen. So this guy out of, oh shoot, I'm not doing well. I'm really not doing well. So this guy, there was a gentleman, he must be on the keto diet because straight from Fox News. Actually, this isn't even, was this recent? Maybe it wasn't recent. Everything's running slow. A North Carolina man. Oh my gosh, this happened on July 31st, so it's kind of recent. But according to Fox News, a North Carolina man shoves $100 worth of Walmart steaks down his pants and flees on a moped. Oh, honey, he has got to be on keto because he knows that meat is expensive. So the alleged thief, identified as blippity bloppity bloopity bloppity. I don't know if I should be naming these names or not. So I'm going to do that. His name is blippity bloppity bloopity bloppity. He tried to make a getaway on his moped in the pouring rain, by the way, after walking out of the Walmart without paying for the steaks. The Nash County Sheriff Office wrote in a Facebook post. So, of course, the photo that was shared by the sheriff's office, which added, neither snow nor rain nor heat nor gloom of night prevented them from apprehending the accused thief. It shows at least 10 packages of stolen steaks. Oh my goodness gracious. He shoved them down his pants. Who wants to eat meat that's been down your pants? Okay, don't answer that question. But of course, everybody had to make their funny little comments about it. One Facebook user said he must have been really hungry. And my favorite was, he was going to do a stakeout. Oh my goodness. As of Tuesday morning, the Nash County Sheriff's Office post had more than 1,000 reactions and 800 shares. The police have not yet announced any formal charges. Well, dude, you're going to jail for steak. He must be hungry. He's a big boy. But seriously, I don't know how that's really, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say, people. How do you think you're going to get away on a moped? Again, it is freezing. At least I'm catching it this time. Seriously, dude, how are you going to get away on a moped? How fast those things even go? I mean, do they even go 50? I mean, my God. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. But I don't know what's worse. Either stealing beef, stealing steaks, or stealing a shark from the aquarium. Yes, people, this is a day of thieves. Okay? Well, that's crazy. This comes right from Fox News, too, and this was from July 30th. At the end of July was just nuts. People are nuts. Okay? 2 men have admitted to stealing a shark from a Texas aquarium that weekend of the July 30th. Oh, gosh. And they used a baby stroller to smuggle the animal out of the building. The police chief of the Leon Valley Police Department told reporters on Monday night that the men confessed to taking the 1.5-foot longhorn shark from the San Antonio Aquarium after officers showed up at one of their homes with a shark warrant. I almost said shark warrant. I'm so funny. Search warrant. The female shark, whose name is Helen, was brought back to the aquarium Monday evening and received a hero's welcome from employees, and they said that the animal was in very good condition. Now, at first I was thinking before I started, there's a video to watch, and at first I was thinking, what was he going to do with the shark once he got it home? I mean, was he putting it in his tub? Did he have a pool in his backyard? I mean, what's he going to do with a shark? You mean, how's he going to feed this thing? People are going to get suspicious that you're, buying, all this fish in bulk, right? But I guess, according in the video, that when they went to this guy's home, that he was like well known, not well known, but he had a lot of knowledge about, marine life and that sort of thing. They said that that because he was so educated on marine life, that the shark was fine. And actually, when the officers walked into this guy's house, it was like walking into the aquarium. I don't even know what to do. I have to do so much freaking editing. Anyway, so it was like walking into the aquarium. This guy, had everything set up. So I don't know what's going on with people. They're stealing steaks. They're stealing sharks. I can't imagine. It's crazy what people will do for, to get free stuff. But this wasn't free. You stole it. Oh my goodness gracious. I am wrapping up with the news you didn't know you needed with another story from McDonald's. And this just goes to show you why sugar is bad. And you should stay away from sugar, and you should stay away from McDonald's and the French fries, no matter how delicious they are, because they make you crazy. Okay? Last week I talked about how this girl got her butt kicked at McDonald's because, again, people stealing stuff. All right? This time, and this is, again, the end of July, this news, Fox News was reporting. Boy, Fox has a lot of good stuff. I didn't even notice what the guy's name is. Not cool. Tennessee man does naked jumping jacks in the McDonald's women's restroom. He was later arrested. Now, please, do not make any judgments when I tell you what this guy's name is. Actually, I'm not going to tell you because I don't want you to know what his name is. And I didn't tell you the other guy's name, so I'm not going to tell you this guy's name. His name is Blippity Bloppity Boo Boo. I don't know what the other guy's name is. I can't remember. He was arrested this week after authorities allegedly found him in the McDonald's bathroom doing jumping jacks while naked. Oh my gosh. Nashville police were called to the fast food restaurant on Monday because a man who was later identified as Bippity Boppity Boo had allegedly locked himself in the women's bathroom all day, and he refused to leave despite the pleas from restaurant management. Oh my goodness. At one point, when the bathroom door became unlocked, an officer found found Bippity Boppity Boo in a stall. He was erratic and doing jumping jacks and hitting the wall. The officer did say that he smelled like chemical fumes as he had been huffing, and this guy has been arrested before. He was taken into custody because he was deemed too intoxicated and a danger to himself and others. He was later charged with trespassing, public intoxication, and public indecency. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk. Seriously, sugar will make you do naked jumping jacks in the McDonald's bathroom. You need to get off the sugar, people. You need to get off of it. That brings me to my favorite part of the show. And that is, I don't have a jingle yet, but I'm working on it. Famously failing, you are famously failing. And here is my famously failing person of the week. Kim-Zolciak-Biermann, ladies and gentlemen. I do not know if you watch any of the Real Housewives shows, but I am a very big fan, and I will continue to watch it because I am a sucker, and I, for whatever reason, like to watch these crazy biatches tear each other up. Anyway, Kim-Zolciak-Biermann used to be on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Then she left that, got her own series called Don't Be Tardy for the Party. If you have ever watched that show, you will know why it's called Don't Be Tardy. And if you haven't watched that show, well, I'll explain that another time. Here is my reason why she is famously failing. She posted on her Instagram a picture of her and her 4 kids, and they're getting ready to go to school. It's their first day of school. It's early as heck for them to be going to school. I don't know what time they get out of school. Again, I hate this thing. It drives me crazy. Anyway, they're going to school. Don't know how much of that you heard, but they're, Miss Biermann, Zolciak-Biermann, whatever her name is. She's going to school. She posts this picture of, her kids are all dressed up in their nice little uniforms because, of course, they go to private school, which is, if you can afford it, awesome. But she writes in the Instagram post how they all, they drive the kids to school, and her husband and the nanny, they all go to school. Yes, I said the nanny. They all go to school and they drop their kids off at school. And then she talks about, oh, it's so sad. And this one starts crying and that one starts crying. And, then the nanny's crying, and it's just ridiculous. Okay. And she's like, I wish they could just stay home all the time. Here's the article right here. I wish they could just stay home. Somehow I made it through the day yesterday. The 40-year-old caption on an Instagram photo. They're all in their uniforms. She says, it was all a good day until they started to get out of the car to go to school. And then one of them grabbed her face, kissed her, and said, I love you, Mom. I was done. So they walked the kids to school. And she's like, they were hugging the nanny. They were hugging my husband, and yada, yada. It's a big old thing. I wish they could stay home all the time. And yeah, okay. I wish they could stay home all the time. La, 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 la. This is crap. Okay. If I had a nanny, I would want my kids to stay home all the time too. Okay. But I don't. So I don't want them to stay home. I want them to go to school. There is no crying about my kids going to school and going to their little smarty pants private school. There's no crying. Okay? There's no crying because I need a break. I don't get a break. I don't have a nanny. I don't have cooks. I don't have cleaners. I don't have people that help me. I don't have a driver. I don't have any of that. I barely have a car that runs. Okay? So when my kids get on the bus in the morning, that is like gold. Okay? That is worth all the money in the world. Okay? There is no empty nest here. There is no crying. There is no tears. Bye-bye. Have a good day at school. Enjoy your school. I love school. School's great. There is no crying. If you're crying, you'll be fine. You're not going to be gone that long. Bye-bye. Bye. There's no crying. So she is famously failing. I hate this. Can anybody hear me? Is it still recording? I don't even know what's recording. I'm so worked up about Kim and her nanny and her gorgeous football husband taking their kids to school in their big, giant SUV Escalade that probably, is brand new because, they have buku bucks. And then they're going to go home and she's going to take her, put her little slippers on while her maid makes her a cup of coffee and a Danish. And then her nanny is going to go pick up the kids from school while she's doing whatever the hell she's doing. And then the nanny is going to make sure the kids have a snack after school. And the nanny's the one that's going to help them with their homework. And the nanny is the one that is going to be getting them ready for bed and everything else. Just so bleh. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I don't even know what to say about that. But the nanny's the one that's going to get on the love. Truly. Anyway, I'm just full of crap. If I could afford a nanny, I would have a nanny. She's got 6 kids. I mean, she could use some help. I'm just jealous and bitter that I don't have those things. And I really shouldn't be. But I am. I can't help it, okay? I want a nanny. A cook to cook me food. And a housekeeper to clean my house. That's what I want. And to be honest, occasionally I would like a nanny to go to a soccer game so I don't have to. Or go to a play so I don't have to. Because I'm tired. I worked. and I'm tired. I don't want to go to a soccer game. Some days I pray that there will be rain during a soccer game, so it will be rescheduled. I know. I don't deserve to have a nanny and a cook and all that stuff because I'm just a bitter, cranky woman. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, my dysfunctional mamas and papas, the very last thing that I want to talk about is keto corner. I do not know if I have a jingle for that yet, but I am working on it. And the only thing that I'm going to update you on this week, even though I did make some really cool stuff, but I have other things, I can't keep recording. This computer is driving me crazy. I even plugged it in thinking that it wouldn't lag, but it's lagging. I don't know what to do. So I've ran it on enough. I've become a crazy person now because I am insane with jealousy that Kim-Zolciak-Biermann gets to have a nanny and drop her kids off to school in her big giant Escalade in their private school and all of their high fashion clothes. Okay, I need to stop. I really have issues. This keto thing is supposed to help me with my clarity and my energy. I guess it's giving me plenty of energy, but clearly I'm not clear or clarity, whatever you want to call it. Now I'm just rambling. I've been rambling for 34 minutes. Anyway, what was I talking about? Keto! I am going to give you a quick weigh-in, people. Maybe I should start recording this and putting that somewhere so you guys can see it and know that I'm not lying. But when I weighed myself in this week, and I weigh myself in on Saturdays, when I weighed myself, I was 198.4. My body is a wonderland. I'm finally in the 100s, people. 100. Technically, I could eat a slice of pizza and be way over 200 pounds again, but hopefully that doesn't happen. So that is it. That is my keto update for the week. I'm super scatterbrained. I can't help it. How the hell am I going to go to school and I can't even do a podcast without being nutso? Freaking Kim-Zolciak-Biermann. She's making the rest of us parents look bad. Am I crying because her kid's going to school? Enjoy it. Have a minute. Go out with your nanny. Go have a cup of coffee or go get some more lip injections or something. And yet again, I know I sound very judgy, but if I had the money to get lip injections and all kinds of other procedures done on my face and my butt and my boobs and everything else, I would do it. Again, I'm only saying these things because I'm a jealous, bitter old woman who just, wants to be able to have, all that stuff too. I'm just jealous. I'm going to admit it. At least I can admit it, right? Shoot. If I could afford it, I would. I would have everything lifted, tucked, sucked, everything. I would have Spanx permanently, surgically implanted on my body if I could. I would. Because I'm that, not bitter. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm that self-centered, shallow. I really am. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I am on certain things. I can't help it. Anyway, all right, I think I have ranted long enough. I have, again, not prepared, but do you expect anything different of me? This is just my rant fest. I hope you guys enjoyed episode 25 of the Dysfunction Junction podcast. Thank you for riding this hot mess express with me. Oh, goodness. Listen, if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, then please visit my Patreon account because like I said before, this is free for me. Oh, psych. This is free for you, but not free for me. So please check me out on Patreon. That is patreon.com/dysfunctionjunction. And be sure to follow us on all of our social media pages. You can connect with us on Facebook at facebook.com/dysfuncjunk7. And of course on our Facebook group page at facebook.com/group/DF podcast. If you prefer Twitter, you can find us at twitter.com/dysfuncjunkmom. And for all you Instagram peeps, you can look us up at instagram.com/dysfuncjunk7. And you can find all of this wonderful information and all of these links on our website, at www.dfpodcast.com. That is D as in dog, F as in Frank, .com. And if you didn't know already, you can go to the Google Play Store and download my app for free. You can take me everywhere with you. That's the only way that I am ever going to experience the world, is if you download my app and take me with you. Then you know what you can do? Oh my gosh, I just had an idea. Download my app, and then if you go anywhere really cool, you could take a picture. Somebody else probably have to take a picture of you holding up my app on the phone, and then tag me in it on Twitter and be like, oh, and like hashtag dfadventure.com. How about that? Or dfvacation.com. .com. Hashtag.com. That would be cool. That would be funny, and that would be awesome. So take me with you. Take the Dysfunction Junction podcast with you. Do a little hashtag that says DF Podcast Vacation, DF Podcast Adventure, and post that. So I guess I have ventured on enough. I hope you guys all have a great week. I am going to continue to try to do this podcast because I love it. Wish me luck on the whole school thing. Don't know when I'm going to get started on that, but hopefully that will be very soon. If you feel in your heart like, hey, I don't want her to work. I want her to do more of these, episodes. I don't want to lose this. Then by all means, go to my Patreon account and donate $1 so that I can live off of you guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. I am out of here. I am officially done. I have rambled on for more. Every time I have this podcast, I think, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I have nothing to talk about. When in reality, I have diarrhea of the mouth because I have ADHD and I really could just ramble on forever. But I'm not going to. I've been talking for 40 minutes about absolutely nothing. So, all right, I'm leaving. Goodbye. So long. See ya. Have a great day. Have a great week.
You
Okay,
make me
goodbye.
make me crazy, insane. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Insane. You make me crazy, insane. That's how I feel. That's how I feel.